Right over to you.
Brilliant. Thank you, Paula. And thank you, Simon. And hello to everyone. My name is Carl Timmins. As Paula mentioned, I'm the Irish ambassador for Avalanche. So I'll just do a bit of a share here. Let's put together a small little presentation. Um, here. Let me know if you can see that.
Yep.
Perfect. So Avalanche is a blockchain, as you might know. It's a standalone blockchain, so it's got its own ecosystem. Has a lot of interesting projects. It's been around since about 2020. I'll just give you an update on um, who the parties are involved. So Eamon Dean is the head of the ambassador program at Ava Labs. We have Shweta Rahill, who's the another ambassador within Ireland, and myself. A brief history of Avalanche. So, white paper was released in 2018. Avalabs was founded in 2019. In 2020, the testnet went live. 2020 also then the ICO was launched. So maybe some people might have picked up tokens or saw that around that time. But it was then officially launched on mainnet in September of 2020. Several milestones achieved in 2021. Network developed along 2022, continuous development throughout 2023, and then the Ambassador DAO launched in 2024. So I'm not sure if anybody's used Avalanche or AVAX tokens specifically. There is an exchange. It was previously called Trader Joe. It's actually upgraded now to LFG. So I do have that, a link to that, so we'll go through that later on in the presentation. So a lot of interesting technology used in Avalanche. So Avalanche is mainly the infrastructure is used to scale, to be highly scalable, and it's enterprise focused. So I'll go through a lot of that now as well. With regard to the architecture of Avalanche, so I'm sure as you're aware, the first iteration of blockchains would have been Bitcoin, one asset, one blockchain. So as that evolved, then you had Ethereum, which was introduced, which enabled multiple assets on one blockchain. And now with the evolution of blockchains, you will see the likes of Optimism, Cosmos, Avalanche, where you have multiple blockchains, multiple assets, and they're all able to communicate with one another. So the ubiquitous element of blockchains, that's how Avalanche is looking to evolve. And that's how Avalanche sees crypto evolving itself, where you'll have multiple chains able to communicate with each other to solve scaling issues. Um, Looking then a little bit on the performance metrics of Avalanche. So you'll see on just slightly here on the left, you would have, this is the core wallet. Again, I'll go through this shortly. For Avalanche, core wallet is a really powerful wallet. You can actually have multiple assets tradable on Avalanche. So the idea of Avalanche is you will have multiple lanes. So you will have, as transactions and congestion happens on other blockchains. Let's say, for example, Ethereum. If you're looking to, let's say, adopt Ethereum as an enterprise, you can't really operate on a large scale multinational model if transaction costs are going to peak to 10x at times of high congestion when there's a lot of people using it and there's a crypto boom, etc., or there's a new release, let's look back and let's say crypto kitties, for example, or NFTs. There's high congestion. If you're a business, it's really difficult for you to justify adopting that technology if you can't plan, especially from an accounting perspective as well. So what Avalanche looks to do is multiple lanes. It allows um, multiple layer ones to transact and process transactions. So when there is times of congestion, it's able to spread those transactions across multiple validators. So reducing congestion and increasing throughput. So this analogy here is, again, each transaction is a car and it each has its own lane. So as congestion occurs, it's allocated that kind of block space. Another bit of a visual here. So there was an Etna upgrade there 2, 3 months ago. So Avalanche was rebranded to about Avalanche 9000. I'm not sure if anybody's anime or Dragon Ball fans, but or you might have seen the meme where 9000 is levels 9000. So that's kind of where Avalanche took inspiration for the 9000. So Avalanche is, above that level. So we have massive combined throughput of subnets, layer ones, let's say. So each layer one here, let's say I deploy a blockchain, that's a layer one. Let's say Jess deploys a blockchain, that's another layer one. Paula, Simon, Jacinth, everyone. And that allows, again, the massive combined throughput of the subnets to share these transactions and to be scalable. So that's Avalanche's approach to scalability, allowing for that massive throughput of layer ones and for everyone to take on validation roles. So again, previously on Avalanche's model, there was a high cost to run a validator node. And what they've actually done is they've reduced that cost drastically to about 1 to 10 AVAX a month, which is reasonable. So if you're a business, it's about 300 a month, roughly, obviously depending on token price, where it was previously 2000 AVAX. So it's a much more cost-effective model, and allows for individuals to become validators and gain a reward from running validator nodes. Again, that was quite a brief overview of Avalanche's ecosystem, or sorry, not ecosystem, the let's say architecture of Avalanche. And then this is just some of the industries and companies that are using Avalanche. So we have Tib and Shopify. So they have integrated Avalanche powered platform through merchants on Shopify. Then we have Deloitte, who actually use it for disaster relief. Lemonade Insurance, who is quite an interesting insurance company in the US. They're completely born in the cloud, so they use Avalanche with small farmers in Kenya. And then Godzilla is gaming, and there's also Off the Grid. Is another gaming. I link to that now shortly. But big focus on gaming within the Avalanche ecosystem at the moment. And there's some really interesting games been deployed on Avalanche with like hundreds, thousands of users globally, which is really interesting. And I've also seen recently, I don't know if you follow on Twitter, the creator of Doge, Nicky, yeah, he's been tweeting about Avalanche. He's super bullish on gaming on Avalanche. I can't think of his name for some reason, it's annoying. And then Intane, which is structured finance. So they use Avalanche for their markets and liquidity. A bit of a focus at the moment on Avalanche is AI agents. So this is something that I will go into again shortly. But we have different types of AI agents, and again, Avalanche is focusing heavily on AI agents within their blockchain. So AI agents vary in complexity and function. And they're reactive agents, so operate based on predefined rules, bots that execute trades based on price signals. Think of it as a smart script, really. So if you are, let's say, a high frequency trader, or if you're just a regular trader with a bit of coding experience and you want to have a buy price at a certain price and a sell price at a certain price, you can use intelligent AI agents to track pricing and have more functionality over a regular script, let's say. So it leverages the power of AI, generative AI, let's say, and creates a more user-friendly experience than a traditional script might. So then you have deliberate agents, which utilize planning and reasoning. So you might have an AI-driven portfolio management system. You have hybrid agents, which combine reactive and deliberate capabilities, which is the first two, kind of like a model between both. And then you'd have multi-agent systems, a network of AI agents collaborating. You can have that decentralized, autonomous for utilizing AI governance. And then this is a quote from Microsoft. So think of AI agents as the new apps for an AI-powered world. So they're rapidly adding new capabilities to tackle individuals' biggest pain points at work and drive real business results. So as AI and crypto is evolving, so are the use cases within those. So AI agents are really just the tip of the iceberg, and I would anticipate more of that occurring. And then we can look at specifically within crypto what you might use an AI agent for. And I will go through, you can deploy this on Avalanche with a few clicks. So I'll show you the website. We'll go through that now shortly. So you could have automated trading bots, AI agents analyze market trends and execute trades based on price movements, historical data, and indicators. Example would be AI-powered bots on Binance, Coinbase, or decentralized exchanges like LFG or Uniswap, for example. Sentiment analysis and prediction. Agents scrape news, social media, and on-chain data to predict market trends. So quite an interesting approach there. If you did want to see, let's say, the crash and you wanted to see, is the market increasing by 5, 10, 15%? If you're saying, right, okay, I'm going to get in when the market, if there's a rebound of over 10%, that'll be able to do that automatically while you're in work, or, so you don't miss that opportunity. And then example would be natural language processing model analysis, Twitter and Reddit sentiment. So for example, if you wanted to track who's been talked about on Twitter with regard to crypto, for example, like what coin is the most up and coming, who's talking about what, where's the alpha coming from on Twitter. You can use this these AI agents to do that for you. Let's say arbitrage trading, quite a touchy subject, let's say. Some people agree with it, some people don't. You can get sandwich traded, things like that. So can be yeah, point of contention maybe. But AI agents can scan multiple exchanges to exploit price differences. Example, a bot detects BTC at trading at 50,000 on exchange A and 49,800 on exchange B. You make yourself an easy 200 bucks. In theory, it's simple. In practice, maybe a little more challenging. But that is how Sam Bankman-Fried started out in FTX, if I'm not mistaken, between America and Japan. The price of Bitcoin was, yeah. So, you never know. Let's hope you don't end up in the same, not
Don't
financial advice.
encourage them.
And then you might have AI enhanced smart contracts. So AI agents optimize smart contracts by adjusting parameters based on external conditions. So AI agents, interest rates on DeFi lending protocols based on borrower risk assessment. So that's getting a bit more technical. If you did go down DeFi lending, which is an emerging area within crypto. I saw Coinbase did release crypto loans there recently. If you've got Bitcoin as collateral, they will lend to you. I did see some interesting people talking about that on Twitter recently. Yield farming optimization. So AI bots automate the process of moving funds between yield farms to maximize returns. So again, if you're staking your coins on Phantom, for example, you might have a yield farm there, and then it looks at a new pool that's been opened up with a higher return of interest. It'll auto switch that for you. So another interesting opportunity. So Yearn Finance employs strategies to find optimal yield farming opportunities. And then fraud detection and security. So AI agents monitor transactions for suspicious patterns and prevent hacks. So AI in chain analysis or cipher trace detects money laundering or washing trade. So or trade washing. So bit more advanced. That would be if you have a platform that you're scaling. You would want that in for your KYC or AML, anti-money laundering objectives. So some interesting use cases on AI agents. We can discuss that afterwards. And then, so this is where we'll go into the ecosystem itself and some of the examples that we can look at. So hopefully, oh, this will open here. You can still see my screen?
Yeah.
Cool. So this is GoGo Pool. So this is decentralized, permissioned, limitless. We enable builders to achieve fully permissionless layer ones, allowing creators to innovate without fear of centralized control or legal consequences. So as you can see, they do have a pool with around 26.62% APY, about 6% APR, and they've an active mini pools of 260, about 46 million in total value locked. So a new innovative protocol. I'll show you some of their products next. So layer ones refer to an actual blockchain you will be deploying. So if you do deploy a layer one, it's as a validator. So it will run transactions through it, and it will be its own ecosystem, as I showed in the previous slide. So if we think this is layer one, so you'll have your own blockchain with your own transactions operating on the network. So Layer one is your hub to decentralize layer ones for you to engage, get the latest information for layer ones that interest you the most, and participate in validation, staking, and delegation. So this is more around the ecosystem within Avalanche. So we'll look at the different layer ones and what they're offering and what you can achieve with staked coins. So we can see the products here. We've got some mini pools, the highest yielding LST on Avalanche. So with GoGo mini pools, validators can connect with liquid stakers and benefit from the growing community of decentralized layer one blockchains for nearly 50% reduced cost. So if you have AVAX, you can stake, you can validate in a mini pool, things like that. So again, all very UX friendly here. You've got a few clicks and you'll be able to get involved. Which is great because UI UX in crypto has been a pain point for years. So Avalanche are really trying to address that and make it more user friendly. So let's just have a look here. I've got my core wallet here, which is on my testnet. So yeah, again, you'll come in with whatever you've got. I'm not sure if it'll, let me see, if it'll connect to my testnet. Core. Ooh. And then it'll tell you, what you need to do. So some
That's,
good
sorry,
documentation
can
there.
I cut across with a question there? So that's
Yeah, hold on.
liquid staking.
Yes.
Um, Previously, what I would have known previously on AVAX was there was a C chain and a P chain, and one of them was for staking and the other was for transactions.
So there's three chains. You've got the C chain, which is a contract chain. You've got the P chain, which is the platform chain, and then you've got the X chain, which is the exchange chain. So you're kind of maybe previously in maybe before Etna or before a few different upgrades, but the C chain is where you'll generally run your contracts or transact with. You would only really use the P chain again if you're a platform and you're looking for a much higher throughput and you're going to be running a lot more transactions through your network. And then the exchange chain, again, if you're exchange, again, higher volume, you're going to be running a lot more transactions. But C chain is generally what you're going to use on AVAX.
And when you connected your wallet there, it just knew which chain to connect to and all. You don't have to worry about
Yeah,
any of that anymore. It's been a
exactly.
long
Yeah.
time since I've actually used, I suppose I've used Trader Joe or well, whatever they're called now, LFG, um, and it just knew. Okay,
So you'll have, say, for example, here you have your C chain, P chain, X chain. I'm running on a test net at the moment, just as you can see here, just test net. So you've got different. It's got multiple. You can actually have a Bitcoin test net through the core wallet. You can have Dexalot. That's actually a separate Avalanche Dex. You will have. I'm pretty sure Optimism is here as well. Like Ethereum supported Gorilla. Um, there's many. Like I actually had a look at this earlier on. I was like, they've really added some
yeah.
vast variety of chains. Some I haven't heard of to be honest. So there is really a lot that you can integrate with. So if you've got coins on a specific chain, Core will manage that for you, and you don't really need to have to worry about importing. You can create import a custom chain if it's not listed here, but they've really gone above and beyond with the number of chains that they've integrated into the core wallet. So let's see here. It's like, I can think of search. So like Optimism, I'm pretty sure is there. One. Probably saw from here. But yeah, they or maybe that maybe
Hmm.
yeah, they've a lot of chains. Basically, that are here. Um, So it is smart. The platform GoGoPool will recognize where you have your AVAX balance and it will auto connect that. If you want, you can change it and it'll tell you actually which chain you're using here. So you can go to your main network. Again, I'm using the test network here. So that's liquid stake, or you can validate and you can have an ROI calculator here. So this will actually tell you what your return on investment is going to be. So let's just have a gander.
The URL on that was app.gogopool, yeah?
I'll post that into the chat here.
Yeah, if you could, please.
I think that could be a problem with my network, to be honest. I'm seeing like a yellow or green tick there. Let me just go back.
Great, thanks.
I might just be having a problem with the actual calculator, but
I think their site is, yeah, I'm getting an invalid response from their site as well.
they could be doing upgrades. I'm not 100%, but
Yeah, they might be at the
there
moment.
will be a calculator there, I'm sure.
Yeah.
So then again, you can stake, register a node ID, stake 100 AVAX worth of GGP and deposit. So to create a mini pool, look, it depends on your appetite here, I guess, and what you're kind of interested in. If you're interested in creating a mini pool, you can do that, and there's some rich documentation here on that. So your rewards, so 10% collateralization, and then or you could have 150% collateralization, go big or go home, as it says, and then some more documentation on why you might do that. So there's some documentation here. Again, these are really new. There's a separate one that was only released in November, which is D-Launch. This website isn't even up, to be honest. Like we're gonna have to go to their Twitter. So we'll go through it as we go. So that's GoGoPool. Some really cool products there. And again, super new. So like you'll have your mini pool dashboard, where you're going to have some information on how, well, that's like, how does it work? Crypto cycles are every 30 days. A mini pool must have been created for at least 15 days during that cycle, then launched before cycle end to earn rewards. The rewards eligibility cutoff date is the last day that your mini pool can be created to earn for that 30-day cycle. So you will be eligible for the rewards in the mini pools created before 2nd of the 2nd, and launched before 17th of the 2nd, and you will receive rewards on 17th of the 2nd for that cycle. So if you launch your mini pool within this period, you'll get your rewards on the 17th, is basically what it's saying. So definitely some, let's say if you're interested in it, some good documentation there to kind of investigate. But this was recommended to me by the core dev team. So one to be interested in for sure. And then we'll look at Trader Joe, or LFG, which is where you'll do your swapping using Avalanche tokens. So you can start trading, 130 billion traded on chain through here. And there's lots of options here. So again, let's connect. Go core, or maybe I run accept core proof.
Did Trader Joe also rebrand their token, do you know?
Oof. Let's have a look.
I don't think they did. It's still Joe, isn't it? I think.
I think so.
I think I still have Joe. Joe?
Yeah, I'm sure it's still Joe. They rebranded the website to LFJ.
LFG, yeah. So LFG Avalanche, yeah, comes up. Trader Joe bot, LFG. They're the exchanges. Uh, bu- bu- bu-
You just type in Joe, it will bring it up, I think.
Yeah, then no, it's still Joe.
Right. So we don't have to do anything if we're holding Joe.
No. So again, you're connected. You can search your token symbol. Actually, yeah, we could have done it here, to be honest. Yeah, so there it is. And then you can start trading. So very similar layout to Uniswap. So you'll connect your wallet, select your tokens, and then you can actually switch to Avalanche. So there is a bridge involved here as well. So really powerful website, LFG. Again, pools available with some good analysis, let's say coin analysis, and volume. So manual V2. Yeah, or basic v1. So it gives you the different pools, the depth, volume, things like that. So you have auto pools. If you're hosting a pool, it will give you your relevant information here, and then your rewards specific to any pool that you've got. You can stake through LFG. So again, you give you your APR if you want to deposit. These do Arbitrum as well. So you can deposit your Arbitrum here. And then again, relevant information at Token Mill, which is new actually. So this is where you're going to be able to create your own custom token. So if you want to deploy a token onto the Avalanche network or other networks,
It
if I'm not
looks like a
mistaken.
pumped up fun
Yeah,
type.
yeah, similar. Yeah. So again, lots of there's the man himself, Jack Dorsey, on a Solana coin. So interesting. And then yeah, so lots of things going on within the AVAX ecosystem. So yeah, I'll share this as well just in case anyone is interested.
And for all these links, people can download the chat later on. There's an option in the chat to download it. So I would advise later on to download the chat to go back over these.
I can send the links to your Telegram as well, or I can join the community or whatnot and share them also.
Excellent.
And then D-Launch. So D-Launch is specific to AI agents. So I came onto here earlier, and this is all I got. So this is super new. We'll go to their Twitter. I was like waiting for that to load for a very long time, and it didn't happen. So they have a good video here of what they're planning to launch. So this is them D-Launch, Avalanche native AI agent launchpad powered by artificial intelligence protocol AIP, and then this is the. I don't think there's no sound, but basically.
Yeah, no, we can't hear that.
So you're basically automating it. So you're saying that's the AI 9000 name. You want Twitter blueprints, so select Twitter profiles to synthesize behavior patterns, and then you can give it a prompt for a personality.
This is so cool.
That actually is so cool because I've been
So cool.
playing with like Eliza, and like that just has a UI.
Yeah, whoever did the UI UX for this is a legend. That was awesome.
Yeah, they put in
launch.
some good thinking to it.
Cool.
Yeah, so I'll share this again in the chat to give some people some context.
And they're not live yet.
They're not live yet. That was
showing
only
you this is alpha.
yeah. So it will be the first launch AIGG with the first launch on D-Launch. There actually is an airdrop here, if I'm not mistaken, as well. He's not going to the farmer. Where was it? Yeah, so breaking, that was 5 hours ago. Breaking AI 9000 holders. Your diamond hands are not to be rewarded to your airdrop incoming for AIGG. So AIGG is going to be launched on the AI 9000 D-launch. And if you're a holder of AI 9000, so let's have a look at Trader Joe. AI 9000.
And that AI 9000 would have been a layer one that somebody deployed.
Yes,
What you showed us earlier.
within
Yeah.
Avalanche, exactly. A layer one.
Yeah.
So okay. Token. Oh gosh.
So did the airdrop pass already, or?
That I'm not sure. You'd have to look at their Twitter.
All right.
Mm,
Are you familiar with them, George?
Sorry?
Are you familiar with them? Have you seen this project before?
AI 9900? Not really.
Okay.
But I do know Avalanche, of course, not AI 900, but it's quite new, obviously,
Yeah.
since they had a airdrop recently.
Yeah, it's all these are all very new. I basically reached out to to let's say leadership within Avalanche, and they passed me on these platforms to kind of showcase during this call. So kind of new to me as well, to be honest. I'm kind of learning and doing research on these as well. So quite interesting. As of 7 hours ago, Snapchat has not been taken, airdrop retired, your holding amount matters, etc. So an interesting product being released on Avalanche. And then we'll just give an overview of the gaming ecosystem within Avalanche. So quite a lot going on with regard to gaming. We have
I can't hear that either.
Those are some huge names.
Yeah, there should be an option.
and these are all deployed on blockchain, decentralized on Avalanche.
I play that game right there.
Are they all on Avalanche? I didn't know Bloodloop was on Avalanche.
Maple Story might use their blockchain. I don't know how that's working. That's interesting. I literally play that game. Literally just bought one AVAX right now, and I'm trying to swap it for AI 9000.
Not financial advice.
I mean, not financial advice. This is recording. This is purely entertainment purposes. And I'm not a certified financial advisor.
Yeah, so some really cool advancements happening within the AVAX ecosystem at the moment. Yeah, and there's more to come. Yeah, off the grid is another really big one. This was dropped only a few months ago, about 2 months ago, I believe.
Yeah, 2 months. My son loves this. I can't get him off the computer. He's on this all the time.
Yeah,
So,
Loves the-
Carl, I
loves
know
the
you
whole
said this
concept.
is new, but how are these games using blockchain?
they're deployed and based on Avalanche. So like they'll actually run decentralized. And it's because Avalanche is so scalable and they're able to actually
Right.
run that. So that's the premise around it.
So would that be run on the P chain? The CP and X
I
are new to me, so I'm just trying to
honestly,
tie it all
I'm
in
not
together.
sure.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not actually sure exactly what chain they're running on.
Okay.
But yeah, that's how they're operating. We can have a look.
Can I ask the question?
Yeah, of course.
So, Carl, I was a bit surprised just now because Shrapnel, I had no idea Bloodloop was Shrapnel on Avalanche as well. Off the grid, I know because I get the boy giving it to me all night and all day. But
Mhm.
in your opinion, what is it that's attractive about Avalanche that is attracting these gaming? These are big names. What is it that's attractive? They could go anywhere. What's your key success factor?
Avalanche's focus on scalability, so allowing multiple transactions to be run through and the huge throughput that Avalanche allows. They had their focus on gaming specifically. They looked at individual markets. And they have a large focus on enterprise grade architecture, which allows for developers to really open up their skill sets and begin to develop decentralized gaming on Avalanche. And it's the fact that they have that throughput and the blockchain is that scalable that entices developers to come onto the Avalanche chain. So if you're an indie game developer and you don't want to have to put up with, let's say, the fee structure that might be associated with an iStore or an Android store or a Sony, you can look at Avalanche and develop your game and own a lot more rewards for yourself. And it's a niche market as well. So if you want to stand out from the crowd, you mightn't get the traction that you're going to get by going to a traditional gaming house, like Epic or whoever. Avalanche will take you on board if you've got a good project and it's adoptable and scalable.
Yeah. So you guys have really made that creative space available for the dev to feel supported with other peers of themselves, because that's quite a body of work there.
Yeah.
So how many
That's
years ago then did they have this vision? I won't say you specifically, but just Avalanche. had that
So
idea that
Avalanche was only
we could
launched
be a
in
gaming
2020.
portal.
Yeah, so about 2 years, I think.
Mm.
They would have kind of decided to pivot focus towards gaming. And that's not their only focus. They are adopted by countries in the Middle East and Asia. And they're an American blockchain as well. Like the Martin Eckhart is not American, but the company is registered in the US. So they are American first, which kind of ties into the, let's say, the trend that is coming out of the US at the moment. But they are enterprise focused, gaming focused, and they're in my opinion making really intelligent moves within the space.
Thank you. That's really quite incredible. You surprised me this evening. So yeah, I don't
No
suppose you know when Off the Grid is launching, do you?
Yeah. No, unfortunately.
No need to answer.
Fletch, you have your hand up. Do you want to jump in there before we continue on?
Yeah, thank you. This actually goes back to what you were talking about with regards to enterprising. Now, how is Avalanche positioning themselves, or do you know how Avalanche is going to position themselves with these 15-minute cities that are going to be all run by AI and etc. etc. You know, like how XRP has positioned themselves in the finance world.
Mm-hmm.
What you have demonstrated here is that Avalanche has this great scalability. So has it got a position yet, or is it going to position itself with these 15-minute cities that they're all saying about? Do you know the ones I'm talking about?
Smart cities.
Smart cities, that's the one. Yeah.
Yeah, to be honest, I know they are involved with governments, so Avalanche, and let's say smart cities. Off the top of my head, no, I don't. But let's say Avalanche blockchain smart city. They are Avalanche blockchain, and let's say govern partnerships. So they did make a partnership with, I think it was Bahrain, Avalanche blockchain, Middle East. But there's nothing that I know of off the top of my head at the moment that I can mention, unfortunately. But remote development. Yeah, Bahrain. It is Bahrain. So they are so a World Class Digital Enabler. I'll share this into the chat so you can kind of have a review. But they are looking at creating an exciting to embark on a journey with Avalanche, leveraging their groundbreaking technology to elevate their Web3 infrastructure. So if I'm not mistaken, they're going to be looking at it for the likes of digital certificates. They'd be looking at it from smart contracts, and they'd be looking, it says there, at telecommunication and mobile financial services within homes and businesses. So it's kind of a high level, let's say, overview of what they're doing. This again, probably only about a year old. Is there a date on this? No, but they are making those steps from let's say how much that's evolved since this has happened. Unfortunately, I can't give you an answer on that. But they are innovating in that space. So say for example, where is this? No more please visit Bahrain's website. Transportation and communication. So that's their kind of focus with this specific partnership. There is another in Asia that if you do a little bit of research, I'm sure information can be found on, and if I do find it, I will be sure to pass that on.
Fabulous, thank you.
No problem.
Chris, you have your hand up as well. Do you want to jump in there quickly?
Yeah, sure. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah.
Hi, Carl. Good evening. The value of AVAX was reached about 130, but it's now done at 34.5. Is there any reasoning in that? And what do you think will turn it around?
Time. I can't give a reasoning, unfortunately. I'm kind of as shocked as anyone else would be at the kind of the price of Avalanche at the moment. I think it's a longer term play rather than a short pump and dump-esque scenario. They are teetering around the top 10. And for a crypto that's only kind of 4 years old, it's, or well, let's say 5 now, 2025, I think it's doing quite well in that regard. I would like to see it overtake Solana personally. That's the talk on Twitter. But we'll see. As the hype dies down on Solana, I'm hoping because I enjoy Avalanche that it would take that position away from Solana.
But what is the edge
This
of
is only its second cycle. It's only its second bull run.
Yeah.
And just to put that in context, because the crypto market's very different, Chris, to the traditional markets, in that, you know, we have these cycles, and the first cycle, the coin is only getting known, and the second cycle, it tends to do a lot better, and then all coins seem to have a third cycle unlucky crash for some reason. So this is just its second cycle.
it
Yeah.
looks that way, but it's lagging Bitcoin
Everything's lagging Bitcoin.
by
Yeah.
a huge amount.
I think
so-
when the gaming narrative comes in,
Yeah, that's
Yes.
my question. What's going to make the difference? What's going to get it back to where it was? Because that's a 70% drop
Yeah.
in value.
Yeah, a good time to buy, in my opinion. I'm biased, obviously, but
Not
yeah,
financial advice.
it would
What-
it would
what
be not
is
financial
what's
advice.
the edge, Carl, at the moment? What's the edge that's going to make the difference?
Further adoption. Let's say when let's say some of their projects such as this with Bahrain become more mature, let's say, and when some of the gaming platforms become again more mature, these are all again about a 4-year-old coin at the moment and making large industry moves. So I'm happier that it's a longer play than it is a short in and out play. Personally, I believe in the technology. I believe in the team, the management team, and the development team. So I think that they're, as I mentioned, making intelligent moves for crypto. I don't see other chains making these types of moves personally, and with tangible outputs. Lots of talk online with other chains, not as many tangible results. So that's what I'm thinking will be the main let's say point to bring it forward.
You
We'll let you get on with your
you-
presentation, Chris, and come back to questions, yeah?
Yeah, I just want to know that edge. What is the thing that's going to make a difference apart from?
Yeah, I would think it would be the longer term play and the management team that's involved. I do believe that they are making the right moves. And there is another platform which I can show now, which is Ava Cloud. So this is more so them looking at the enterprise approach towards blockchain. So this allows it's a cloud services that they're providing for developers. So this takes all the pain points away from deploying a coin. If you are a developer, I think I can log in here. So if you're deploying a token or a contract on any network, there's things you have to take into consideration. So if you're operating in a certain region, let's say you have to abide by AML or you have to abide by KYC regulations, or for example, if you were considering launching a platform that's related to healthcare, right? So and all your patient data has to be stored within a certain region. So for example, if you're bound by GDPR, your validators have to be within the EU, for example. You can't have validators running in America or Iran or any country that might be on a warning list. You can customize your contract to have that built in out of the box. You don't have to program that in. It just comes as an option. So you'll say, oh, my validators have to be within the region of the EU. You can make that smaller. You can say Dublin, for example, or you can say London. And you can, out of the box, as I said, there's very little programming that you need to do to have that capability within the chain. So it takes the pain points away from development and allows you to focus on functionality within the contracts. So and you're compliant with relevant regulations. So that's how they've kind of put their focus is taking all the elements that are pain points and removing them so that you can be compliant, you can launch a product and then not have to worry about it.
That is pretty sweet.
That is, in my opinion, it's a good
That is
feature.
sweet.
No, so let's have a look here. I might be able to show some of this. Let's say we want to create another layer 1. Let's say testnet. Yeah, so there is a cost. So as mentioned, there's a starter plan, pro plan, custom plan. Maybe I can go to my previously deployed contracts. I'll need to add an API key, but it's very straightforward. If you are a developer and you come to the AVAX Cloud, and again, this is super new. They haven't even really, to be honest, launched this or started to market it. Yeah, so as you can see, these got disabled. But yeah, they've looked at in my opinion, they've looked at every way that was a pain point previously. So they have a cloud services. They are a cloud services provider now, and so you can deploy your contract on their cloud services. They've taken away, as I mentioned, some of the regulatory requirements that you'd have to stick to as a developer, or if you wanted to launch a product. And they're making smart partnerships and taking on smart projects within Avalanche. Scalable and a very high throughput. So that's what really makes me confident within Avalanche itself over the longer term. And they're not in it for the short term. Yeah.
Scalable ticks a big box for me, and sustainability, not in the green factor, but sustainable over time. That it's robust enough to withstand the machinations of the markets and the ups and downs.
Yeah.
So it's got value, growth, and potential for income.
Yeah. There is, as mentioned, you can run validator nodes. There's large staking pools, things like that. So the ecosystem is evolving and growing constantly. So it's one, as I mentioned, to kind of have the longer term play.
Thank you.
No problem.
Excellent.
That kind of covers everything, to be honest, that I put together for this. There is a lot more out there if you have a bit of a research, but these are the newest let's say developments within Avalanche, specifically within the AI agents and gaming. So GoGo Pool is also very good for staking if you so wish to do
So
so.
lots of alpha dropped here this evening. Do GoGo Pool have a token yet?
I don't know. Again, these were shared with me.
Well, Trader Joe's token is also only in the second cycle, and they're the biggest exchange. Exchange tokens, not financial advice. Exchange tokens typically do well because they obviously can actually earn a revenue, which isn't common in Web3. So exchange tokens generally do well, and Trader Joe, or LFG as it's called now, they were tipped to be the Uniswap of Avalanche. So that was a really popular token in the last bull run. I remember that. I still have some of my
GoGo Pool do, and it's called GGP GoGo Pool Protocol. So let me see.
Okay, and then there's the
I don't
AI
know if
one
it's on
and
coin
the
market.
cloud. Excellent. In terms of governance, how
Mhm.
decentralized is there governance? Can people vote on?
Yeah. You have to be running a validator to be able to be eligible for voting rights.
Okay.
That is an element of it.
Okay, so it's not as easily accessible to everybody.
No, yeah. Again, you have to be running a validator node to be eligible to be involved in the governance structure of Avalanche.
Does anybody have any questions? Jess, jump in there.
Yeah, real simple one. What's your on-ramp to get AVAX on a decentralized wallet? Like, would you send like XRP or XLM or USDT to MetaMask or a wallet, then swap it for AVAX, or would you just go AVAX from a centralized exchange to a decentralized?
Yeah, so I use Core Wallet, so I'll send USDC to my Core, or whichever way you kind of, let's say, on ramp is a good way to put it, onto into your crypto, let's say, whatever way you do that. So by your USDC, you can send it to the Core Wallet, and then you can go to LFG, or you can go to any of the decentralized exchanges that are on Avalanche. There is another one which is
that an AVAX wallet core?
Yes, this is the main. Actually, let me share that. Actually, so if I come back here, that I can share a QR code that'll bring you to that. So if you want to either scan that, or I can share the core wallet.
By the way, where did you get your conviction to go with AVAX?
Where did I get my conviction to go with AVAX? I always liked Avalanche. I used it when it was Trader Joe previously, and then the opportunity came up to apply for the ambassadorship program. So I applied. I deployed a few contracts, and yeah, I got accepted. So I started to do some more research, and then it just the more I researched, the more I got kind of understood the ecosystem. I think it's just a lucky timing, to be honest, because like 2 years ago there wasn't this many kind of advancements within Avalanche, and for the past kind of year or so I've been involved with them. So that's one of the main reasons I got involved. So I'll
Nice.
share that.
Any other questions?
Billy M2K is the founder of Dodge, and he is quite bullish on AVAX, I would say. Where is it? I only saw Shibtoki Nakamoto, yeah. He was tweeting around Avalanche. If I can find it again, I'll pop it into the chat. But is it Billy M2K Twitter? Toki Nadamoto. He created Doge with another person, but more recently, I can't say why. I'm not sure why. He's started to become quite bullish on AVAX and tweet a lot about it. So, another interesting just piece of information.
Okay, so anybody else got any last questions?
How did you get into blockchain development? I actually checked out your LinkedIn profile. Is that like your side job, or is that like your main job? Because I noticed that you're also like part of Accenture. Um, could you please give me some advice as well, how to get into like blockchain development? Or, well, I do have experience in data engineering, and I have masters in data science. So I'm more like on the data side of things, not necessarily like you are, more like a Solidity / TypeScript guy, I suppose.
Yeah. Start developing, build products. So if you can, if you're on the data side, you've probably worked with Python, or have you worked with Golang, or what languages have you kind of worked with previously?
Python, SQL, PowerShell, because I did quite a lot of DevOps too on the Azure platform. Yeah, C#. I had to study C# during um, my first year during my bachelor's. So yeah,
Yeah,
these are
so
basically the languages I had experience with.
yeah, so like if you've got experience, even a small amount in programming, start deploying contracts. You know, there's numerous YouTube videos out there. From my perspective, I started mining Bitcoin back in 2016-ish time. I imported ASICs from China and put them in a data center here down in Cork. So I was running that for about 4 years, 4 years. 2019, the crash happened, COVID. I got priced out. I couldn't continue. So I decided I want to get more involved in the development side. So I'd done programming in college. I was in banking at the time and finance, and pivoted then towards development. And I just started coding constantly, and I still do. I took part in some hackathons. There's some I can share. Like I did some kind of evening courses through a company called Encode, who are based in the UK. They're really good, and they're free as well, actually. Well, you pay I think it's about 250 £250, but you get it back if you attend over 90% of the lectures. It's called Encode Club. I can share them. And they run hackathons, really good network to have. Free plug for them. But yeah. They are really good for tech, and they'll do a lot on AI at the moment as well, and how that mixes. They actually had Vitalik Buterin as a guest to one of their talks only a few weeks ago, but unfortunately they've started doing everything kind of during the day. I work, as you know, I work for Accenture, and I've kind of progressed from there. But I will do another one of their courses because I always like to brush up. The beautiful thing with, or I guess the gift and the curse with software is you're always learning. There's always something new,
Yeah,
and
true.
you're never, yeah. So I would say just look, go on YouTube, type in how to deploy a Solidity smart contract, and you'll get many walkthroughs and hours of videos. I know, like Free Code Club, if we can come, yeah, Free Code Club on YouTube, very good. And loads of resources online on how to deploy a contract. And again, it's just repetition and
George,
doing
if
it.
you're into the data side of things, there's chains like the Graph that have their own, it's data that reach into, does the Graph reach into Avalanche?
I believe so.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
you
definitely.
can, that might be a good place to start and looking at tutorials for that. But I'd also say that there's Python SDKs for nearly all of the blockchains now at this stage.
Mhm.
So learning just maybe front end stuff like how to connect a wallet to a front end is also a good place to start.
Yep.
Yeah.
Sure.
In the past, I did some what was it called? It was like a Solidity interactive tutorial or something. With the zombies, crypto
Oh
zombies or
yes,
something like
yeah, I
this.
Oh
know that
yeah.
one. Yeah.
Yeah. I did that in the past. I want to hackathons. So I'm currently thinking of like developing some Dion dashboards. But it's just somehow that I'm not like landing on a job in blockchain space. So
Yeah, it's hard to. They're actually they are hard to come by. You have to, and having a network is good. So like attending hackathons will help. Attending meetups in general will help. Yeah, just been persistent, I guess.
all
Well,
right.
on
And
that, we have ran over time. So we are going to wrap things up now. It is just gone 9:05. I would like to thank everybody very much for coming this evening. I'd like to thank Carl very much. Lots of alpha, like I said, it's kind of exactly what I asked for. Give us projects we can use and we can look at and we can play with. So thank you very, very much. That was absolutely excellent. To everybody that came tonight as well, thank you very much. We're back on Tuesday for our general crypto chat, and then we're back the following Thursday after that with an ecosystem update from the Koinos blockchain. So on that, thank you all very, very much, and good night now.
Thank you.
Bye,
Thanks for having
Carl.
me.
Guys.
Lovely to meet you all.
Thanks.
Bye,
Bye.
everybody.
Thank
Carl,
you,
thank
everybody.
you very
Evening.
much. See you,
Bye-bye.
George. Thanks very
Thanks
much.
so much, Carl.
That's
See you,
good.
Jacinth. See you, Trevor. See you, Austin.
Yahoo.